Please join me in welcoming Hall of Fame speaker Marjorie Brody.
See it, own it, solve it, do it. See it, own it, solve it, do it. Say it with me one time. See it. There's the script, okay? See it, own it, solve it, do it. Now, next time we're going to do it again like a chant, but I want you to get it. I want you to get it. See it. You all know that there's things going on in your organization. You know it. You see it. The question is, what are you doing? Do you have a blind eye? Oh, it'll go away. It's not that important. We minimize things. I don't have the time to deal with it. So things that we see, we just might say, well, there's no ownership of that. So once you see it and you say, yeah, this is important. I got to deal with it. That's the ownership. And that's when that switch happens. The next step, of course, is to solve it. How are you going to take care of this particular issue? And then ultimately, it's all about the execution, all the great ideas. I mean, everything I talk about today, you're going to say, well, I already know that. Yeah, but are you doing it? That's the key. My bet is everyone in this room can think of a situation at work that you know it's existing, but you haven't quite dealt with it yet. What I want to do now is give you an opportunity to figure it out. So would you partner up, please? You're going to have 1 minute each. 1 minute each to share the problem. Here's what I see at work. I see this, I know that it exists. 1 minute, I'm going to say switch, and the next person's going to do it. So in 2 minutes, we're going to hear about the problems. That's the first stage. Go. Are we in agreement? You each have a problem. You now know it's important. Is that okay? You agree with that? So let's get to the third. Now that you have it, what are you going to do about it? Attitude, performance, behavior, and courage. So these are the 4 areas we're going to take a look at now. My real challenge to all of you is put a mirror up to yourself and say, what is it that you can do to impact your organization? What are the changes you need to make in order to create a climate, a culture of accountability? He described the seagull manager. This is the person that flies in, drops a lot of stuff and makes some noise and flies out. How many of you are doing that? You see, feedback is, from my perspective, the breakfast of champions. And that means giving it, and that means asking for it. Getting feedback from your people. And when I talk about an attitude adjustment, I hope I'm not talking about you. You see, every day you come to work, you make a difference. It's going to be a positive difference or a negative difference. There is no neutral difference. There's a wonderful expression when you go overseas. People say, when the United States sneezes, the world gets a cold. I like to think about how that applies to my business and to your business. When you're in a bad mood, what happens to everybody else within that business? And you might say, Marjorie, you don't understand. I've got payroll. I've got difficult people. I got computer systems. I got to do social networking. I got all these things I got to do. But you know what? You have a choice at how you look at everything. I'm dragging luggage with me. I've got equipment with me, and I'm running from terminal to terminal. And I'm like, I don't like this. I like the work. I don't like this travel. This isn't working. I'm exhausted. And one day, I was in Denver. Anybody from Denver in here? Well, you can barely walk from terminal to terminal without gasping for air. So I'm now running. You know, I'm not from Denver. I'm from Philadelphia. And then it struck me. The days that I travel, I do not go to the gym. I do not work out. So what am I getting from this? I'm running, and it's, believe me, my cardio is going. I'm lifting things. Well, it's the weight training. And from that point on, I don't ever complain about business travel. It's part of the job. Behavior. You see, you can have a great attitude and be a good performer and still not play well with the kids in the sandbox. And when I look at so much of what I do from a coaching perspective with senior level people, there is so much that is dealing with the behavior. What happens with behavior? Our reputation follows, and our relationships are built on this. I have never heard anybody say, I want to deal with that person because they treat me poorly. I want to work for that person because he or she abuses me. I really want to hire them as a management company because they're unethical. And yet what happens is we get so busy with the task, with the work, that we forget that everyone in this room is in the same business, in the people business. On the back of your handout, there's a place that says, what would you like people to say about you? You just take about 30 seconds, write down 3 or 4 words, think about it. What would you like your employees and your customers to say about you?